So, hello everyone, and thanks for tuning in, guys. So, guys, on today, I was looking at, I've seen a lot of things because I don't really look at the news that much. But, guys, I have been listening to all the videos concerning P. Diddy and the abuse allegations and things of that nature that seem to be going on with him. So, guys, I've seen a lot of people making videos concerning, um, you know, about I want to say I've seen people um, doing videos about I've seen people doing videos about abuse and how they think. Hold on, I'm just checking to make sure I'm live because I haven't been live in a while. I don't normally go live, guys, but I'm going to start one live. But I wanted to come on because, guys, I wanted to let you guys know abuse is very much real, and the way that everything is coming out and panning out, is I'm glad that the young lady came out and told her truth first, because a lot of people that have been through abuse do not talk about the abuse. They just deal with the abuse and they really don't say much about it. But I'm glad she stood out and she came out and she was able to talk about the abuse that she went through, and she was able to you know talk about it and say something about it, because what a lot of people don't understand, abuse is most definitely real. Um, a lot of us, if you don't know of someone that has been abused, then you may not know how they handle the abuse, because people handle abuse in different ways. And thank you, Joshua Gabriel, for coming in. I really appreciate you. The reason why came on today because I saw one young lady who was vlogging and talking about the abuse. And, I'm new to this, so I'm trying to get used to it. But I saw one young lady come on and she was talking about the abuse. And she was saying that a lot of people were saying, like, when it happened, why did the young lady not get up and fight back and things of that nature? Guys, I got to remind you one thing. When you go through abuse, a lot of people don't get up and fight back. And it's important to know that abuse is very much real. And sometimes we don't know how to fight back. We don't know what to do in that situation. We don't know how to handle it because you don't know how long a person has been in that relationship. You don't know if they have the funds and means to get out of the relationship, even though they might want to get out the relationship the whole time. We may want to get out the relationship, but we may not know how to get out of the relationship. I was in an abusive relationship for about 5 years. And guys, the only thing I can say is it hurts my heart when I see people actually say, like, okay, couldn't she fight back? Couldn't she do this? Couldn't you do that? Guys, if you don't understand, the whole part about it. Hello, Simply Sarah. If you don't know the whole thing about abuse, you've never been through abuse, you can't really say what you will do because you don't know what you will do in that situation. So the biggest thing for me is to know that I just want to tell people abuse is real. People go through it every day, and they are dealing with it on a regular basis. And I got a call, so I'm just trying to make sure that people know that it's not like you can just, your frame of mind um, when you're going through what you are going through, your frame of mind is so different, and for me, it was hard for me to, like, look at the video and see the video because I have been through abuse. I was abused in two of the marriages I was in. I've been married twice. So in my first marriage, I was severely abused on a regular basis. So I sympathize with anyone who has been through abuse. It's not easy. And the hardest part is getting out, because a lot of people don't know that getting out is the hardest part, because you don't know How are you going to get out? You're trying to make plans and ways to get out. And for me, it was very hard for me to get out of it. It was hard for me to deal with it. And I'm still dealing with it. You know what I mean? Because I had a child, I had one child, and then I had another child. And then that's when my then husband started to abuse me while I was carrying my second child. So that's why I say, I see a lot of people coming out saying different things. Yeah, you want to get up and you want to walk away. You want to get up and you want to be like, okay, you want to live different. You want different, but in your mind, you're trying to figure out how you can get out of this particular situation. And you have to like plan for it. And then, guys, if you know of anyone that is being abused, guys, please call the hotline, because if there's a group of women, and I just want to say this, there's a group of women. In that group of women, someone most likely is being abused. So that's what I want to come on and say today, because I felt so bad, because it's so many people saying, well, could you do this? Why couldn't you do this? And why didn't she speak out earlier? And then you have a man coming on saying, I'm so sorry, I'm getting help. But you're getting help. But what about the person that you have abused? How do you think that person feel, as you have been abused and you're trying to get past what you have gone through? And it's very hard, you know what I mean? And Sydney Sarah said, I've so much abuse in this lifetime from other people. When you see abuse, you have to speak up no matter what. Yeah, that's the way I feel. I have to speak up on it because, I'm a woman and I have been through abuse. And I try to talk to women when I see it's so hurtful when you can see a woman being abused or being hurt like that, because and what people don't realize, yeah, they do it in public. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't think they do, but they do the abuse in public. They're not thinking about when they're doing the abuse that, okay, people can see me, but people actually saw me when I was being abused. They saw the way my husband was treating me. They were trying to tell me you could get help, but I was actually in another state where I didn't have like family there. So that's why I say, hello, Steve Gilmore. Thank you for coming in. Checking in, peace and blessings. Thank you. So when I'm new to this, so I'm trying to get used to StreamYard and everything else again, because I'm going to be coming live again, guys, because I have so many things I want to talk about. But I wanted to come on and talk about this because I think a lot of people think that, when you're going through the abuse, you have this frame of mind where, okay, I know I can, I should get out of this. You're always saying you can get out of it, but you don't know how to get out of the situation. You're always planning, because I was always a planner. And if you look at me, you think, okay, you are a strong person. When you see me come out on YouTube, most people think I'm a strong woman, but I'm a strong woman because of the things that I went through. I went through abuse in 2 marriages, and it was a lot. And I'm still getting help for that. And therapy is a good thing. And guys, I was also, like I tell people, when I left my second marriage, I had to go into a shelter. So guys, recognizing that you're being abused is the biggest thing for me. And a lot of times we stay in it. And people are like, why do you stay in it? I was, at the time when I went through my abuse, I was not a strong person. I was not a strong woman. And I admit that. I was not a strong person. So I didn't know exactly how to handle things. When you get married and, when you're young, our parents didn't talk to us about what you should do and how you should do in a marriage, how you should handle different things in a marriage. So when you do get married, you're learning so many things at one time. And then where I was, I did not know anything about my husband's background. Had I had known the background of the things he had done before with his other wife, then I may have been a lot better. But because I did not know that, I went through things that that I may have not, should have done. But guys, I didn't understand it at the time. I just wanted to. You had a frame of mind. I had my first daughter, and I had her, and I wasn't married, and I had went through a lot of abuse from. I had went through a lot of abuse from my first daughter's father's mom. So my self-esteem was really low. really very, very low at the time. And a lot of times when your self-esteem is low, you don't know, you're learning who you are as a woman. And I'm a woman and I've had a daughter. I'm trying to navigate being a mother, being a new mother. Although I was 21, I was still learning. I'm still learning. But you're navigating and trying to learn how to be a mother. Then I left and moved away to be closer to my mom because my mom was in another state. So I ended up meeting this person, but I didn't know the background. And people can hide things. That's what people don't realize. People can hide things to where you can't see what they are and how, because some people are good at masking who they are. And so that was the biggest thing for me. Like Sister Sarah said, a lot of people need to speak out on the subject. A lot of women are and men suffer in silence. That's the thing I'm trying to tell people. People are suffering in silence because they don't want to talk about it. I was the same way. When I first came out of my abuse, I was the same way. And as you see me now breathing, when I think and talk about it, you know what I mean? It's not easy to talk about it. It's hard. But guys, God brought me out. I'm in a better place. Hello, Sarah. Sarah Keita's channel. If I'm saying it wrong, I'm so sorry. But I'm new to this, so I'm trying to get used to going on and coming live again because I have so many topics I can talk about. But I had to chime in on this one because I felt some type of way because, you got so many people making videos and they're like, why didn't she fight back? Why didn't she do this? Why didn't you do that? When you're in that situation, that's not even the way you're thinking. You're thinking how I can not get this person angry, how I can not have this person get upset. And I don't want this person to get upset because I'm going to go through more abuse. So you're trying to keep everything in a calm manner, but you're always trying to figure out a way to get out. And for me, it took me years to figure out how to get out because you're dealing with a person who is most likely a narcissistic and most likely is very, very controlling. So they control you, they're controlling you, but you don't realize it. And what mine was, my husband controlled all the finances. I did not have anything to do with the finances. So he controlled most of the finances. So that was the hardest part for me to getting out of the situation because he controlled the situation. Hello, Jakar. Hi, thanks for coming in. I appreciate you. So that's the thing for me was the hardest part for me, guys, was when, he controlled the finances. I could not do very much. He controlled where I went. He controlled mostly who I talked to, and I was just kind of young, mixed up, but I was leaving a relationship. I had left a relationship where I was going through so much. Hello, Renee's Secret Garden. Where I was going through so much. So what I wanted to do was get out. I felt so bad about my self-esteem was so low. I had a daughter, and I didn't want to have any children out of wedlock, but I had my first daughter. So it was like in my head, I just went to stay with my mom in another state. And because my mom and dad had broke up, and I went to another state to stay with my mom. And when I went to stay with my mom, that's how I met this person. But I thought this person was a good person. We didn't just jump into marriage, but we dated maybe 6 months to a year. And you sometimes, let's talk about it with Latoya. Hi, honey, how are you doing? So it is like I was saying, you don't know the person in a different area because I was from Florida and I was in Pennsylvania. You know that person. So you think that you're getting into a relationship, you thinking you know this person. This person was a church person. So, I grew up in the church. So, I thought, well, I'm meeting somebody. I just wanted to be married because I felt I was going through something, having my daughter, raising her. And I just wanted to be married, guys. To be honest, I wanted to say that I was married. And of course, guys, another thing that I'm not ashamed to say is, guys, that I also wanted to kind of get married to kind of, because my daughter's father and I were supposed to get married. We didn't. And I just wanted to go ahead and get married. And I thought I'd have a happy life. Everything would be great. Never thought about abuse. Never thought about any of those things, guys. Never thought about it. But guys, it happened. And I can remember the first time that my husband hit me. And my husband hit me because we were working at a bank together because he had his own business. That's why I say he controlled the money. He had his own business. And when he had his own business, so he controlled the money. So the first time he hit me, we were going to a bank. We were cleaning a bank. We had a cleaning business. We were cleaning a bank. So I was able to get I was able to go in and be able to clean the bank. And you know, banks do background checks and all that, and they check on you to see this and they see that. And so what happened was we did our checks on the background checks and all that on the bank and everything. And you know, the lady came out and she was like, okay, and so this is the first time I really knew what was happening because I didn't know, you know, because I'm thinking this man has a good track record. He had children, he had been married before. And I'm thinking he's just this good guy, you know, and it's okay. And I'm gonna get, you know, this our relationship is going good and everything. And so by this time we were dating still, and then we got married. We no, yeah, we were dating, and we were doing the like I said, we were doing the bank. And so I never knew anything, but we had to do background checks and stuff like that. And when we did the background checks, it was like there was a problem because he couldn't pass the background check. And I was like, wait a minute, what's going on? So that was the first time my husband hit me, and we were already married. So he hit me, guys, and when he hit me, guys, I literally I that was my first time getting knocked out. Okay, so guys, when he hit me, I fell straight to the ground. It was like I was just still in shock because he hit me. And I was like, oh my God, I don't believe this. I was in so much shock. And he was like, you know, I was like trying to get up. And he was like, get up, get up. And I was like, get up. I was like, oh my God. And I was just in so much shock. I'm in another state. I'm thinking, and I got everybody thinking, I'm married to this wonderful person. I'm in love. I have a beautiful, you know, nice place to stay. I'm happy. But guys, you never know how a person is. And that's what started the first abuse for me in my marriage. That was the first part. It started the abuse. So guys, that's why I say abuse is real. I have so many things to share with people about things that I have went through in my life. Hello, E. Thanks for coming in. Good morning. And that's why I wanted to chime in, guys, and talk about it because people may think it's easy, you know, you just say, I'm going to get out of this. It's not easy. It's actually hard sometimes. It's hard for us to realize because we have such low self-esteem. We don't know who will help us. We don't know where we're going. And, you know, I just want to share with you guys that abuse is very real. People out here are, hello, Yaya's Best Life. There's women out here that are actually going through things on a regular basis. I want women and men to know you do not have to take the abuse. And, you know, sometimes I get a little teary-eyed because abuse is real. The situation I just shared with you was one of the many situations that I went through in my life with being abused from my first husband. I was totally abused through the whole 9 months that I carried my daughter. And when I had my daughter, she was very small. She was like not preemie, but she was small. And I had a lot of issues. But guys, realize that abuse is real. Women are going through it. And women think that they have to go through it. We don't just sit there and want to go through abuse, guys. We don't know sometimes how to get out. We don't know who to reach for. Because back in my day when I was going through it, I felt like you feel like you're so, you know, alienated. You feel like you just don't know what to do, where to go, where to get the help. And you just, you know, people don't realize you're seeking for love in all the wrong places. And at a time in my life, I was just trying to meet someone, be happy, start a family, have children, and you know, just have a, you know, this beautiful, healthy life. But guys, when you get into relationships, you really have to try to seek to find out everything, you know. And a lot of times I think women think that if another woman tells them something, that they are just against you. Listen, guys, if these women have that are telling you or giving you a signal, listen to them. They're not jealous of you because of a man or whatever. they're trying to help you. And I saw the young lady, how, it just really brings tears to my eyes, because I was abused in the same way that this young lady was abused. I was, beat down, trodden upon, and I thank God that I got out, because I know that if I hadn't got out when I got out, and I would share that one day with you guys, if I would not have got out when I had not have gotten out, guys, I would be not here. I wouldn't be able to talk to you guys today. I got out, and it was a lot for me to get out, but I thank God, because He allowed him to like get sick, so I was able to leave my marriage. I walked away. I lost a lot of things. I left everything behind, because I felt like that my life was more important than any material things. And guys, the thing about it is, sometimes we leave and we go back. So that's a whole nother ball game. And sometimes we leave because we don't know who we can count on, who's going to be there for us. We don't know where to go. You got to remember the mindset that a person is in at the time that they are going through what they're going through. Anyone can come out and say, okay, anyone can say, okay, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? You know what I mean? And at the time, your mindset is not on why. You're trying, if you have children, you're trying to protect your children. You're trying to protect your sanity also, because it does mess with your mental. And you're just trying to keep this person more, I want to say, to where that they're not getting upset with you, so that they don't continue to hurt you. And, you know, that's it just bothered me, because I was on my walk. I walk every morning, as you know, guys. And I was on my walk, and I was listening to Les Brown motivational, because I listen to motivation as I'm walking in the morning. I like to hear motivational speakers to start my day off right, because I like to start my day with positivity, because I think positivity is the best thing we can do, is come on and be positive. And because I'm coming onto a platform, and I always want to be positive. I want to be transparent, and I want to tell people, you know, what life is, what to expect, and what life is really, all about. Life is about different changes that you're going to go through in your life. You're going to go through so many changes. I'm a 61-year-old woman who's went through so much, and I want to be able to tell people about my life and what I went through. You can be better. You don't have to take this. You can do better. As I got out, you can get out. And the thing of it is, once you get out, not to be prone to getting back into situations where you can get with someone else and do the same thing all over again. You got to get your self-esteem to a place that you tend to love yourself. You know what I mean? You got to remember, I got to love myself first. That's why I do so many videos talking about self-love, because it took me a long time to get to where I am in my life, to start loving myself, to find someone to love me for me and love me and not try to hurt me, and life is about going through different changes, but to come out as a woman or man and share what you are going through is one of the most important things. You got to talk about it, and you got to tell people, because someone is out here listening to me talk right now, and they're going through something. And I want you to know that whatever you're going through, you got to the first thing you got to do is trust God, because God will put a ram in the bush. He will have someone there who will be there at that time of need, and they will be there to help you to get out of that situation. And so, guys, for me, I was able to get out of the situation, and I'm going to share more in detail, but I had to come on and talk about it, because I was also on a platform yesterday with Geeky Girl. She was talking about abuse, and she said, no, she had never been through abuse. But I chimed in because I wanted to let people know. And I said, I was like, yeah, I've been through this. I've been there. And it was another young lady, I don't remember her name. She was on there talking about it. And she was saying how, and it really touched my heart, because she said, and I didn't know if anyone would even share it. She said that, hey, I think about this. I went through the abuse. She said, I went through the abuse. And she said, and I went back. And I just looked like, okay, I did the same thing, guys. I came out of it. I went back. But I came back out of it because I knew that it was a better, it had to be something better for me. And I had to see that it was something better for me because I knew that, I was brought up in the church and this wasn't the way you're supposed to be treated. But guys, a lot of times people don't understand. We go through some things and we go through some abuse because we have saw abuse in our life. And sometimes we don't know exactly what marriages look like because we may not have saw that in our life, or we may have saw some things that we thought that was okay that weren't okay. So as our parents are rearing us, they are going through things and changes. I'm learning so many things since my mom passed. So many things we talked about because I brought my mom with me. So we talked about so many things. And the thing about it is, once when my mom got saved and found Christ, our lives changed for the better, and I knew that this was not the life that I wanted to live, to keep being abused. But I wanted to come onto this platform, guys, to let you know, no woman that is going through abuse wants to be in the abuse. Sometimes our self-esteem is so freaking low, we don't know what to do. And then we're looking at and we're telling people, we want people to think, oh, this facade, oh, I'm living this life, I got it. Because my husband had a business. So guys, of course, people thought, oh, she's got a great life. He's got a business. She's got a nice home. She's got her kids and she's just got this beautiful life. No one knew in the background that my husband was beating me. No one knew he was hitting me. But his family members knew that he was fighting me. And then when I had the black eyes, I was trying to cover those up. I was using makeup to try to cover those up. And being abused, being pregnant, oh my God, that's a whole nother story. But guys, I want people to know that it's not like you can just jump up one day and I'm going to leave. You don't know if you can get hurt trying to leave the situation. But for me, I did not, get hurt leaving because I had to come up and formulate a plan to get out of it. And both times in my abuse, hello, Praying Cook Cooking series. How are you guys? Thanks for coming in. I don't usually go live, guys, but after the P. Diddy thing, felt like I had to come out and talk about abuse because I see so many people making videos about why didn't she get up? Why didn't she just leave the situation? Guys, it is not always easy to leave that situation. It's not easy to get out. Sometimes we have to plan for it. But I thank God that now there's so many places you can go, people who can help you. Like the second time when I left my second marriage, I went to a shelter. I got out of it. I went to a shelter. I got myself together. But the first time I did not know, I was in a whole nother state. I did not know anyone. I did not know what to do. I did not know how to handle it. So guys, that's why I talk about it. And I want to encourage women that even though your self-esteem is low, guys, you can come out of it. It will be better. You don't have to stay in it. You got to remember you got your children, guys. Your children are seeing what's going on. When you got children that are seeing this, it has a lot to do with their life. It may not have it, and as their children, but they're going to remember. And that's the thing that made me want to really get out of it. Good morning, Indian. How are you? Thanks for coming in. That was the main reason I got out. I had to get out for my children. I had to get out for my life because I feared for my life. In my first marriage, I really feared for my life. I feared that I was not going to be able to make it. But see, I think that if we have a lot more people, a lot more women or men or people who are going through abuse come out and talk about the abuse, then people won't be able to get away with it. You need to voice it. And I am so happy with this young lady that she told people. But even though you tell people, sometimes they will not believe you because they see this facade. Oh, you got a nice life. Why would you leave a good man? Why would you just leave a man that is providing for you or, doing this or that for you? It's not about that, guys. It's about what you are going through. What are your body going through? What your mind is going through, your mental at the time. And what your children are seeing you go through. That's the part that really was for me. I had girls, and at that time I had two girls, guys, two girls. And it was like, do I want them to see this? Do I want them to think this is okay? Because this is not okay. It's not okay for any type of abuse. No abuse is okay. So, guys, I just want to tell you there are so many types of abuse. It's not just physical abuse, it's mental abuse because you're physically being abused, you're mentally being abused, and you're being abused financially because you cannot, if you don't have the money or anything, you can't get out of it. So you got to figure out how to get out of it. But like I told you guys, if you know of anyone going through any type of abuse, there are 1-800 numbers you need to call and get them the help. If someone comes to you and tell you that they're going through abuse, guys, believe them, get them the help they need. You can come out of it. I am living proof that you can come out of it. You will be better. You would definitely, and I tell people that all the time, you would definitely need help because I didn't get help until after my mom passed. You do need to see a therapist. You do need to talk to someone because, guys, you got to remember, I got all this stuff built up in me. I've been abused in 2 marriages. And then my mom passed and all of it came trickling down. That's why I'm so glad I am seeing a therapist now to help me deal with it. And because when I went to the therapist, everything started to come out, all the abuse, what I was going through, raising the children, trying to get my children to a better place. And, we are so busy thinking of everybody else, but we don't think of ourselves. But at the time when I was going through the abuse, I was thinking about my girls. Do I want them to be in a relationship like this? Do I want them to see or have someone abusing them? Do I want them to actually be abused? And then in my marriage, I had boys then. When I left my second husband, I had boys. And guys, after the second time my husband abused, no, the first time my husband abused me in my second marriage, I knew what to do. And I had boys. So guys, after that, I decided that, no, I went to a shelter, guys. I got out of it. I never looked back. And I actually put my boys in counseling. My boys had to be about 2 or 3 when they saw my husband physically abuse me. So I made sure that my boys went to counseling because they were boys. I did not want them to think that it's okay to hit a woman. So I put them in counseling. So guys, you hear me saying I put my kids in counseling, right? I put both boys in counseling. And they were in counseling for 5 years because I wanted them to know you do not. Hello, Jada Jordan. How are you? So I did not want them to think abuse was okay because they saw their mom get hit. It's okay to hit someone. So I put them in counseling. So guys, as you're listening, I put my kids in counseling. Understand me? I did not go to counseling. So all these years, I have been dealing with all of this and everything triggered down once my mom passed. So, but the day I came on, guys, I wanted to just talk about the thing about Diddy and how he did come in and apologize. But guys, is the apology real? Are you doing this because you got the PR people behind you saying, okay, you need to come out and you need to say this or that? No, guys, no abuse is acceptable. But look at the time frame it took him to come out and say he was sorry. That's the thing, guys. It's just like this young lady had been saying this. She was vocal and so bold to come out and say this. And I think that was the best thing she could have done. But like, guys, now look, it's like 8 years later and he comes out to say, yes, I did it. I went to counseling and I'm having counseling. And so what you went to counseling, that doesn't change the fact of what you have done. You have to take, and I think the good thing about it is that he took responsibility for it, but it's the way that he took the responsibility. But my thing is to the young lady who came out, Cassie, thank God this young lady came out and told someone, and she keeps, she's not talking about it because, of what she's, she has a clause where she probably can't talk about it. But guys, we need to talk about the abuse. We need to tell people exactly what's happening. We need to let people know abuse is not okay. You know what I mean? And guys, it does affect you. People may think it does not affect you. And guys, I am a firm believer in Christ Jesus, but I also believe that therapy is also good because you hear me say that therapy is definitely good for you because you need to heal. I needed to heal. I need to get help. And now I'm getting that help. And guys, as I'm getting that help, it's making me, Lynn, be a better person, be a better mother, be a mother, better grandmother, be able to talk to people and tell people, women, men, or whoever, do not take it. Guys, I can be in a store and I can hear the way men or women talk to their spouse or whatever. And I'm like, this is so confrontational. And yes, guys, I'm like, wait a minute, I'd be like, okay. And I have even went up to women, and said, you need to take care of yourself. You need to get help because I had like when I was going through some of the abuse, I had one lady come into, we had a store at that time. And I had one lady come into the store. We had like a corner store. And I had one lady come in the store and she saw me. She said, you don't have to take this. You don't have to do this. But at the time, guys, I was so mixed up in my head, like trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to get out? How I'm financially going to be able to do this? How am I going to be able to take care of the kids? Because you're trying to figure out how I'm going to take care of my kids. How am I going to do this? Because this person is the sole provider. They're the one providing the finances for me. So you're like wondering, why? Wait a minute, how am I going to do this? Because that was the biggest thing for me. How am I going to do this? How am I going to get out? And then am I going to get out alive? Am I going to be okay? So that's why I came in today, guys, just to talk about abuse, to let you guys know, no abuse, no type of abuse that you go through, do not take it. And I'm a firm believer that if they hit you once, they'll hit you twice. And, a lot of people like, well, he if he did it this time, he won't do it again. Guys, I was that woman that believed that if he hit you once, he won't hit you again. But guys, as I was being abused, my husband would bring flowers. Each time he hit me, he'd go out and buy flowers. He would apologize. Don't get me wrong. They will apologize. He would apologize. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to do this. Or I did not, I wasn't thinking. I let something upset me. And, me being the, person that, my self-esteem is low. I'm like, oh my God, maybe he means this. Maybe I should look at it a different way. Maybe I should just, maybe I should just, maybe it's me. Maybe it's something I'm doing, because we have a tendency to say, maybe I shouldn't have looked that way. Maybe I shouldn't have did this. Maybe I shouldn't have did my hair this way. Maybe I shouldn't have smiled at a person. Because my husband was one of those people that if you smiled at another man or said something, spoke to, a person in a certain way, he would be like, why you did that? Why did you speak to him like that? Or what did you do that for? And he was older than me. So he felt like, okay, I can control her. And he did control me. He was controlling me. He was controlling the finances. He was controlling, my life pretty much. And I had to get stronger, guys. And I thank God that I was able to reach out to someone, which was, I reached out to, my husband got like sick, and I was able to reach out, and I happened to call home, and I was talking to my sister, and my husband would also be there when I would call home. He would be by the phone, so he would listen to my calls. And it was like he would listen to make sure that I don't say anything about what I was going through, that I would just, be quiet and just say, okay, yeah. And I was so prone, guys, to be honest with you guys, I was so prone that when I was in a conversation, I wouldn't say much, I wouldn't tell much, because I had a sister that was married, and she had got married before me, and I was the older sister, so I felt like, okay, I want to be married. I watched my sister's marriage, and she had a good marriage, and I was like, I want to have a marriage like that. I want to be like this person. Guys, stop trying to be like somebody else and be yourself. And that's the thing for me. I wanted to just have that perfect marriage. I wanted to have the big house. I wanted to have the beautiful children, and I wanted to, be that one that when I went out, I was, wanted to look a certain way. My children had to be this way, and you wanted your children to act this way, and you didn't, if anything happened, you wanted it to be this way. But you got to be real with yourself. That's not life. That's not really the way life is. You know what I mean? You're going to have some adversities. Everything isn't going to go your way. You know what I mean? So that's the thing you got to remember. Even though you're going through this, there is a way out. And I thank God that this lady, she talked about it. Maybe no one else talked about it. So as she talked about it, other people began to come in and chime in and talk about it. And I think that's what we need to do more. Talk about the abuse. Talk about it. Tell somebody. Say something to someone, because we're silent for the wrong reasons, guys. Don't be silent about anything. If someone is doing something to you, say it. Just say your truths. You know what I mean? Because we don't do that. We don't say our truths. We don't talk about it. We just be like silent. Don't be silent. Tell a friend, tell someone, because it's very important. It's good for you. You want to live. You want to have a happy life. And sometimes that might not be the person that God actually has for you. You know, I have to think about, I was looking at the video the other day with praying couple cooking series. And I love the way the Miss Bling was like, pray my king, pray my king. And it was just so, I just looked at it and I was just begin to smile and thank God. Because guys, when God brings you that person that's for you, you will know. God is not going to send you someone that's going to hurt you. He's going to send someone to love you and nurture you, be there for you. Not that person that's going to say that you got to be behind them. That person, that husband that's going to say you can be beside him, in everything that you do. You know what I mean? Because that's the important part about it. Having someone to love you for you. You know what I mean? Regardless of your flaws, regardless of not being perfect. None of us are perfect. And we are not in a perfect world. We may want to make it look like our life is like this when it's not. Even when we come on YouTube, some people want their life to look like, oh, I got this perfect life. And even with me, I have people come on and say, oh, your house is clean and this and that. Guys, it's days when I don't want to clean, but I get up and clean because that's something I like to do. But guys, my house is not perfect. When you see people home, it's not exactly like you think it is. So life is not just like you think it is. It's a real world out here. And we live in a real world. And a lot of people are portraying their life to be this way when it's probably not. You know what I mean? So you got to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. You're loving yourself. You're doing things for yourself. Remember, you're important, guys. You are so very important. And your life is important. And do not let anyone take control to the fact that you don't have anything to say about it. You don't know how to get out of it, get out of the abuse. It's women that are just in relationships and they're being abused physically and they're being abused emotionally and verbally. There's also verbal abuse, guys, where you're put down, you're talked about, they're saying negative things about you. So that was the biggest thing for me, guys. That's the reason why I think when I got into my marriage, I took the abuse because I was beaten down and trodden down by a older woman. She had put me down, and I'm, not just to keep chiming on it, but she had put me down so much. My oldest daughter, grandmother, had put me down so much. She made me feel like I was nothing because she made me feel like that when I was with her son, I wasn't good enough. And guys, that resonated in my mind. And I kept thinking, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. But guys, never, for me, I just want to tell someone, never forget who you are. And I think when we get into relationships, we kind of fade out who we are and put that person, because we in love, and we put that person on the forefront of everything. But guys, you don't have to put that person on the forefront. You got to remember, when you're in relationships, it's about togetherness. Relation means relation. And I've learned so much, and now, and that I have someone that loves me for me. And it sometimes you will have triggers too that will make you think back. And a lot of times I think back to what I've been through, and I know that I've been through these things so that I can tell someone else something, so that I can be encouraging to someone else, so that I can talk to someone else and let them know you can be okay. You're gonna be okay. But just make sure you're getting the help that you need, and you are staying focused on you, and keeping your mind focused, and make sure that you are staying in prayer, because prayer is the key, guys. You got to stay prayed up. In this world, we got to trust God, trust the process that He has for our life, trust everything that you are going through, something in which whatever you're going through, you can share it with someone. You can encourage someone. You can tell someone about what you have went through. You can be an encouragement. So I'm here today to just say, guys, if you are going through something, you can tell someone something. You can be there for them. You can, just be a light for someone else. And don't think that, no one else has went through what you went through. It is a lot of women out here that may never say they have been through abuse. I'm not ashamed to say that I have been through abuse, but I know that God brought me through everything for a reason. And guys, on next week, I'm going to probably go live and talk about how I'm doing since the surgery, since I've been to the doctor, since I've had the MRIs done. I just want to let you guys know exactly like what's going on with me, how I'm doing. And I'm not going to stay on a long time. I just want to let you guys know, God has been so good to me. And I am the mother of 4 children. I'm the grandmother of 2 grandchildren. And I don't look anything like what I have been through. And that's because of the grace of God. He has been keeping me, guys, all of this time. And I know he has a plan and a purpose for my life. I just have to keep talking about it, keep encouraging you, keep letting you know how blessed I am to know that God is a healer, because he's healed me from all the things and hurts. I'm constantly in a healing battle to keep healing myself and trusting God, because I know if I keep trusting him, he's the author and finisher of it all. He has the last say so. So guys, when you're going through whatever you're going through, remember that you're not going through these things alone, that God is in the midst of it all, and you got to trust him. But I'm so glad to say that it's a lot of us out here that have been abused, and we are dealing with it, and we are strong because we are able to get through it, and we have been through it, and we are being an encouragement to others to let them know that this is a battle, but we can get through the battle. And I am so proud of this young lady for coming out and talking about it. And now, guys, the funny thing about it is the denial of it all was he was denying that it even happened. And then now you got a video showing that it actually happened. And now what can people say now was like, okay, this really happened. People may think that no, it didn't happen. And now you got a video. But you know what hurts the most is that the video is out, right? And way back when he was saying, oh no, I didn't do this. I didn't do this. But guys, remember one thing. What's done in the dark always comes to the light. You may not see it, but it will be seen. And people who abuse, they do it and think it is okay and that they can get away with it. People think, and Diddy thought because he had the money he has and the power that he has, that no one saw it. And even if you paid to have the video given to you or taken down or whatever, now it's come out. So what you thought was in the dark came to the light. That's how awesome God is. God takes the little things, bring them back out. So I'm glad that it came out. Cassie, you are awesome for telling it. And guys, do believe that there are going to be a lot of more people that come out and talk about it and tell you, what happened. You're going to have so many other victims that come out and talk about what they went through. And see, that's what people don't know. Because you see a person, you don't know what they have went through. You don't know. And also to, have to be drugged and all the things that happened to this young lady. I commend her. And I think she's awesome for coming out and talking about it and telling people what happened to her. But guys, I just want to let you know, people are being abused on a regular basis. I don't know the time frame as to how many women that are being abused, but as long as I've been on this today talking about the abuse, I know there's someone who has been abused. So guys, make sure you keep those young ladies in prayer, young men, because also people forget too, there are men that are being abused too. There are women that actually abuse men. So abuse is in so many different ways that we have to remember. It's not just women being abused. There are men actually being abused too, so abuse is real. People are dealing with it on a regular basis every single day. So guys, I will be coming back doing more lives, but I had to come on to let you know that, I have been through this abuse. I've been through it with 2 husbands, but I'm better now. I'm in a better place. I'm in a better space. And I want to let people know sometimes the things that you're holding on to, you think that are so very important. For me, I thought that, the house, the cars or whatever was important. And I thought that, I had to go through some things because, I didn't have the finances at the time. But once I allowed myself to let go, guys, I never thought my life would be where it is today. So it's all about letting go and allowing God to, use you and to you to be an example so that someone else can look at your life and say, hey, if she did it, I can do it. Keep loving on the ones that love you. Keep being there for the ones that are loving on you. But just know that, guys, there is so many types of abuse. Like I said, there's verbal abuse, there's emotional abuse, there's financial abuse, there's physical abuse, there's domestic abuse. There are people every day going through different types of abuse. But guys, you can come out of it. You can be better. I'm a prime example. I came out of it. And I tell people, when people look at me, they're like, oh, you look good. I'm going to be 62 in July. And they're like, oh, you look good. Guys, I am not. I do not look like what I've been through. And I am getting better with everything that I've recently been through. I'm not going to allow, the enemy to think that he has the victory, because I'm just going to keep trusting God and trusting the process, because God has a plan and a purpose for our life. And no matter how sometimes I tried to, like when I told people when I first started my channel, I tried to like get away from it, but I tell people my mom was a pastor and I have a brother that's a pastor. And I saw a lot of things because my mom was a pastor. She was a woman pastor. So I saw a lot of things. But I thank God that times have changed so much since then. But I grew up with a strong mother. And my mother was really strong, and she taught me a lot of things. And even though when I was going through some of the things I was going through, she even taught me, and she told me, you don't have to do that. But guys, you yourself have to make up in your mind what you want to take and do. At this time, I didn't come out of the situation, but guys, now I know that I can tell someone else what I went through and be like, guys, you can come out of it. It's not easy. You're gonna need some type of therapy, which don't wait to be like me. Don't wait and be like me and get the therapy so much later in life. Get the therapy as soon as you come out of it, or get the therapy, as you're going through it, and then I had people to tell me, maybe I should have got therapy. But guys, the husband that I had at the time, he was not going to therapy. And I also, guys, want to let you know my husband was a Christian. So I thought that him being a Christian and, things were going to be okay. But guys, just because they're a Christian or whatever does not mean that they are, living exactly the word. So for me, I won't say anything negative about that. It's just that, guys, you have to trust the process in your life. You have to trust God, and I continue to trust God. Even though I went through what I went through, I still trust Him and know that it wasn't God that did anything to me. You know what I mean? It's that I had to realize that I needed better for me as a woman. I needed to do better for me. I didn't want my kids to see all this. So I, as a woman, I had to be a better, make a decision. And the first and hardest part of it was making that decision to tell someone so that I could get out of it. And once I told someone, guys, it was a matter of maybe 24 hours and I was out of it. And when I say out of it, I was out of it. And I lost a lot, which I didn't care about the furniture. I didn't care about the house. I didn't care anything about that. I wanted my life. And I wanted to be able to raise my kids, because I had the two girls and I didn't want them to see what I had been through. And they could see some things, if you got a black eye, you can't hide it from your kids, And I had a brand new baby and I needed to raise this child. And at that time, guys, I did not know that my daughter had, some challenges in her life. So me getting away was the best thing that I did. And then later on, I had to face the fact that I had a child who had some issues that I sometimes talk about. And I'll talk about that with you guys later. But I just want to, because I don't want to keep talking about that part. I just want to make sure that I'm staying on point with saying that, abuse is real. And I'm glad everyone was able to see the video to know that the young lady was telling the truth. And guys, know that, you can come out of it. I don't care if you're a man, woman, or whatever you are. You don't have to take the abuse. Remember that part about it, that you can do better and that you can't see now. Right now, when you're in it, you can't see what's happening. But as you begin to come out of it, then you will see how God can bless you. That's why I tell people about journaling and things like that. But I'm going to share that, guys, with you when I start to do more lives because, you know, God brought me out of it and I was able to come back home, start my life over, and raise my daughter, you know, and then get married again and go through some stuff. But guess what? I'm not going to talk about that. But I'm just saying, guys, abuse is real. Take care of yourself. If you're going through something or know someone going through something, get the 1-800 number, call, because now it's a lot different than what it was back in my day. You can get help. You can come out. You can go into a shelter. There's places and things you can do, and you don't have to take it. So make sure you're taking care of yourself. Make sure you know you're important. Make sure you know not to devalue yourself. Make sure you know that you are important and what's going on in your life. It does not deflect on the person that you are. Remember that you can tell someone your story and know that it is okay to share it, to let someone else know, because there may be someone out there that's going through that and be like, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to figure it out. I don't know what I can do. And guys, if someone wants to, you know, reach out to me. If you look inside my description, my email is there. You can reach out to me, guys, and I will just let you know that, you know, you can get out of the situation, guys. You don't have to take it. You're gonna be okay. Right now, you're seeing tunnel vision. You may have tunnel vision and think, oh no, I got to. You don't have to, guys. You can have a better life. And I'm gonna continue to share my story to let you know that you can come out. You will be okay. You're going to be a better person. You're going to be happy. And you need to know what happiness look like. Happiness is not getting hit and someone bringing you flowers and telling you they're sorry and, you know, it's making you think that it is okay, you know, because a lot of people bring flowers, they take you on a trip, they do different things with you to make you think, okay, it's okay, but it's not okay. It's not okay to put your hands on anyone. It's not okay to say negative things to people to make them have low self-esteem or feel bad about themselves. That is not okay. Guys, we are here to help build up each other. Even on YouTube, we are here to build up women and men and tell them of our story and tell them about how, you know, God brought us through whatever situation there is. You know what I mean? Because I've been through so much in my life, but guess what, guys? I thank God for the life He has given me. He has been a blessing to me. And I just want to say thank you, Cassie, for coming out and telling it. And thank you, whoever released the video. Thank you for releasing the videos. And no, guys, I am not mad at P. Diddy, but guys, what's done in the dark always, always comes to the light. And it's very important that people know that you cannot get away. And then now they got cell phones, people got cameras everywhere. So if you are doing things, it's gonna come out. But the thing that hurts me the most, which I, you know, feel so bad about, is the fact that it took this many years for it to come out to show what he's been doing. It takes so many women or men to go through things with these people in high air places, and they just you know, are able to pay people off and do all this. And like one man said, he was like, they paid him $5,000, $50,000. I'm sorry, $50,000 to hide the video when they should have paid him millions, because you hit a video of someone being abused and you could have helped someone else and stopped someone else from the abuse. So that's the biggest thing, guys, being able to stop someone else. And if you tell someone so that they'll know that if they did it to me, they'll do it to you. And they may keep it for a little while, but eventually, guys, it'll come out. You may be to keep it down for a little while. They may be to hide who they are for a little while, but eventually, guys, it comes out and it's real. So, guys, just wanted to come out and talk about that, guys, and let you know that I'm gonna put in my community tab when I'm gonna come live again and talk about the surgery and how I came out and what I've been going through, some issues I've had since the surgery. But I just want to thank all my subscribers for subscribing to the channel, guys. All of you rock. You're amazing. And everyone that came on the video and liked the video, thumbs up the video, Thank you. I appreciate you guys because, guys, I wouldn't be where I am without you. And, guys, make sure you're keeping Healthy G Mom in prayer, guys. I haven't heard from her in a while, and I just want to make sure you're keeping her in prayer. And, guys, just thank you guys for coming out. I appreciate every one of you. I'm not going to make it much longer, guys. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for being there for me. Thanks for loving on me. Thanks for praying for me. And I just want to say thank you, guys. And I'm going to see you in the next one, guys. And I'm going to get off, but you'll see me again, guys. But have a great one, guys. Have a blessed Tuesday. Just thank God for all the blessings that He has done for you. Remember, when you get up, guys, stay positive. To put on some motivational things that make you feel better, because that's what I do in the morning. It keeps me positive, keep me on a positive path. And guys, I also have my book I will tell you about. It's the power of positive thinking. Stay positive, guys. And I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye-bye.